Adeptus Astartes. The Adeptus Astartes, better known as Space Marines, are genetically enhanced super soldiers created to defend the Imperium of Man. They are divided into hundreds of chapters, each with its own traditions, colors, and combat style. Space Marines are faster, stronger, and more durable than ordinary humans, and their power armor turns them into heavily armed walking tanks. Chapters such as the Ultramarines, Blood Angels, Space Wolves, and Dark Angels have become legendary across the galaxy. Their greatest advantage is flexibility, allowing them to fight almost any enemy and deploy rapidly wherever the Imperium needs them. Astra Militarum. The Astra Militarum is the vast conventional army of the Imperium, made up of ordinary human soldiers known as guardsmen. Unlike Space Marines, guardsmen are not genetically enhanced, so they rely on discipline, enormous numbers, artillery, tanks, and overwhelming firepower. Regiments are recruited from countless Imperial worlds, producing wildly different uniforms, weapons, and traditions. The Guard often fights battles that seem impossible, sending wave after wave of soldiers against enemies that are individually far more powerful. Their importance comes from sheer scale. The Imperium has billions of soldiers, and the Astra Militarum forms the backbone of its endless wars. Adeptus Mechanicus. The Adeptus Mechanicus is the Imperium's civilization of machine-worshipping engineers, scientists, and warriors. They come primarily from Mars and other Forge worlds, where they maintain the Imperium's ancient technology. Their armies combine heavily augmented humans, robotic constructs, specialized troops, and powerful war machines. The Mechanicus considers advanced technology sacred and treats ancient machines almost like divine relics. Their forces are particularly dangerous because they can field strange weapons and enormous war machines while also repairing and maintaining much of the technology used by other Imperial armies. Adepta Sororitas. The Adepta Sororitas, or Sisters of Battle, are the militant warriors of the Imperial faith. They are ordinary human women, trained to fight for the ecclesiarchy and defend the worship of the Emperor. Their armies combine power armor, flamers, bolters, heavy weapons, and faith-based abilities that can produce seemingly miraculous results. Unlike Space Marines, the Sisters are not genetically engineered super soldiers, making their determination and religious devotion central to their identity. They are especially feared by heretics and enemies of Imperial religion because they fight with extraordinary fanaticism. Adeptus Custodes. The Adeptus Custodes are the Emperor's personal guardians, and among the most individually powerful warriors in the Imperium. Each custodian is vastly more enhanced than an ordinary human and is equipped with extraordinarily sophisticated armor and weapons. They traditionally guard the Imperial Palace on Terra, but they can also deploy across the galaxy when the Emperor's interests are threatened. A small force of Custodes can accomplish what would require entire armies of ordinary soldiers. Their golden armor and immense skill reflect their unique purpose. They were created not merely as soldiers, but as the Emperor's most trusted protectors. Chaos Space Marines. Chaos Space Marines are former Imperial Space Marines who have turned against the Emperor and pledged themselves to the forces of Chaos. Some serve specific Chaos gods, such as Khorne, Nurgle, Tzeentch, or Slaanesh, while others worship Chaos as a whole. Many are veterans of the Horus Heresy, meaning they have been fighting the Imperium for thousands of years. Their armor is corrupted, their weapons are often possessed or mutated, and their bodies may be transformed by the powers they serve. They combine the combat abilities of Space Marines with the unpredictable gifts of Chaos. Chaos Demons. Chaos Demons are supernatural entities created from the psychic energies of the Warp. They are servants and manifestations of the Chaos gods rather than ordinary biological creatures. Khorne produces bloodthirsty warriors, Nurgle creates diseased and grotesque creatures, Tzeentch commands sorcerous and constantly changing entities, while Slaanesh creates beings associated with excess and sensation. Daemons can enter real space through warp disturbances, but their existence is fundamentally tied to the immaterial realm. Their armies are terrifying because conventional physical laws do not always apply to them. Orcs. Orcs are enormous green-skinned warriors who exist almost entirely for fighting, raiding, and causing destruction. Their society revolves around violence, with the strongest orc becoming the leader and attracting larger and larger groups of followers. Orc technology looks crude and unreliable, but their strange psychic nature allows some of their beliefs to influence reality. Their armies range from mobs of infantry and heavily armed vehicles to enormous war machines. When enough orcs gather together, they can form a warg, an enormous migration of warriors that can threaten entire worlds. Aeldari. The Aeldari are an ancient and highly advanced species whose civilization once dominated much of the galaxy. Their empire collapsed after the birth of the chaos god Slanesh, leaving only scattered survivors. Modern Aeldari armies rely on speed, precision, advanced technology, and powerful psychic abilities rather than brute force. Different craft worlds maintain distinct cultures and military traditions, while specialized warriors, known as aspect warriors, dedicate themselves to particular forms of combat. The Aeldari are individually fragile compared with many enemies, but their speed, foresight, and technology make them extremely dangerous.